the famous chicken strip ride. This goes from Chappell Hill through Welcome over to Round Top, and then back over to Industry, and then back over to Bellville, and then back up to Chappell Hill. So it's a good ride. It's probably 70% gravel. It's great country roads, lots of elevation changes. I mean, elevation for this area at least. Doesn't take long on this route. You hit gravel pretty immediately. Nice thing about this gravel is that it rained heavily yesterday and it just soaked it all up. I wouldn't be surprised if we see dust after some absolute storms yesterday. Yeah, the camera doesn't really do justice, but it's pretty out here. It's really pretty. Yeah, you see it really opens up out here. It's nice fields, mild elevation changes. It's really pretty, especially in the springtime. It's nice in the summer too, and in the winter, but the summer is hot, dry, and dusty. The winter is pretty dusty too, but it gets colder out here during the winter. Still a little bit of standing squishy stuff on the road here from the rain, but not much. Nothing compared to some of our other routes when they get wet, i.e. the Shiro Sand and Mud Pit. I love the tree canopies out here. Just dive off into the trees like this. Bit of mud, not much. Guess I better slow up and make sure these guys are coming. Cody and Jim, I think I see your tire tracks right here. Y'all just can't help it, can you? Frustrates me that action cameras don't show like the kind of depth of what's going on. Nice little elevation changes. This probably all looks flat, and that's probably a 100-foot grade. As you ride with a group, you got to kind of judge the pace a little bit, and when you get to major intersections, you got to kind of stop and wait and make sure you got your whole group, take a head count. Have to adjust your speed a little bit as you go. There's lots of nice paved back roads out here too. It's not just gravel. So even if you don't feel like doing a gravel route, some really pretty paved roads. Pretty low traffic for the most part. Saturday mornings you see stuff like this, cars kind of in and out, but for the most part, low traffic, relatively low risk, nice pretty drives. We are now approaching the thriving metropolis of Kinney, Texas. I'm gonna guess population like 12. But what is here is a really cool restaurant and stop, and I forget what it's called, but it's right up here on your left. They've really converted these old buildings into a cool place to stop and eat, take a break. No fuel at these places though if you decide to stop here. Yeah, so that's the trading post, the Kinney store. There you go. Alright, back into the gravel and the trees. Have a little fun. There's no driveways around. But you do have to be careful as you come up and down these driveways and stuff. I think a lot of these people are not used to us zooming by on bikes. bit damp. I'm surprised. These roads usually just soak up every drop of rain and turn dry within a matter of hours. I like this road. It's a lot of good turns. That fake dog messes with me every time, or fake pigs or whatever they are. Always think it's a dog and they're going to come running at us. Oh, look, it's a little bit of mud. It's nice and grippy though. Sharp turn right here that's totally blind that has caught me off guard with cars coming. You kind of catch them off guard too. Luckily nobody there. You can see our group's tracks all over the place. You can see where somebody hit the brakes. And you can see some power slides like that coming out all the way down here. Jesus Christ, somebody did like a 100-foot power slide. Another pretty little section here with just tree canopies, gravel roads. Nice little easy turns. A lot of these are 90-degree turns. During the summer they get slick too. All the rock gets cracked and dry. It's nice after a rain because even though there's a few little mud puddles, you get really premium traction. This dirt turns red. You get a few little slick spots, but other than that, you get premium traction. Look, there's some more of our groups. There's some more tracks. I like this. And it's a beautiful property. Good Lord. On a hill like this with a pond down here. Damn. Property's pretty nice, but this is nice. Maybe someday. Another fun little road here. Rarely any traffic on it, so you can open it up a little bit. Have a little bit of fun. Gotta be careful with these little slick bridges though. Ooh, that could catch you off guard. See if moto's fun. Sounds good. You'll sling out the back end if you wanted to, but it won't get you in trouble. Well, I mean, it could get you in trouble, but it's not enough power to really go crazy and get out from under you. Hello, cows. I feel like I've gained an appreciation for cows for some reason once I started riding out these roads in this way. I don't know if I've gained an appreciation for cows or they just symbolize like these beautiful farms and stuff for me. It makes me think of that. Gravel's already getting kind of chunky. It gets kind of chunky out here. I mean chunky relative to down here in Texas. Go up to North Texas, West Texas, Colorado, that sort of thing. That gets really chunky. But for down here, it gets pretty chunky on these roads when the rain and stuff washes all the sediment down in between the rocks. It really catches people off guard. It caught me off guard when I first started riding gravel too, because it makes the bike squirm all around. And if you're sitting down, you feel it a lot. Standing up helps feeling it, but the bike's still moving around regardless. Like I said, even the paved roads out here are really pretty. Hey, there's those longhorns, man. Probably hard to see on camera, but Jesus. Those horns are huge. Wow. adventure touring bike is probably a good bike for out here. We probably all go overkill with our tires. Got to have 21-inch front wheels and 18-inch rear wheels and Motage Tractionator tires. Probably an adventure touring bike with 17-inch, 19-inch wheels. Some 80-20 on-road, off-road, or even 90-10, 90 off-road, 10, or excuse me, 90 on-road, 10 off-road. More than adequate for out here if you just take it easy. Probably more comfortable than a lot of the stuff we ride too. We probably ride stiff suspensions and stuff for no reason. You gotta wash out on the rain. After rain, all this gravel will wash out onto a lot of pavement when you're riding mixed riding. We've seen several people go down on this stuff right here. It doesn't look like much, but you lose traction and then you instantly gain traction, and it'll kick you off in one direction or the other. Man, I really think I need to adjust my rebound. I can feel the front end deflecting a little bit, so you hit a bump and it kind of right immediately after the bump or the rock or what have you, you feel the bars dance just left to right just a little bit. That's a good indicator that you could probably increase your rebound dampening. So increasing the number on rebound means slowing down how fast it actually rebounds. It's a little counterintuitive. You think turning up the number would increase the rebound, meaning increase how fast it rebounds, but it's the opposite. It's rebound damping. So it increases how much damping it adds to the rebound part of the stroke. And that's about all I know about suspension. It's cool out here how the roads just turn from paved to gravel like that. You see that a lot out here. In addition to rebound, I think I'm going to lower the pressure on my tires a little bit. I'm at 25 psi and I thought that was low enough, but it still feel pretty hard. Man, I know people have been talking about Cardo systems and Senna systems and just helmet intercoms in general, but man, I have to tell you, I really was the biggest skeptic. I thought it would distract me, but man, having music in here has been huge. That's awesome. It really doesn't distract me at all. It makes the whole ride a lot more fun, and then when I'm connected to a group, we can talk trash with each other or give warnings and stuff like that. But honestly, the music has been the biggest part of it. It's fantastic just listening to my playlist of favorite songs when I ride. Who we got? That's Elvis. I don't know who all that is. And there's David. Nice. We're ready to go. Uh-oh, Elvis almost missed us. It's tricky in here too. The shadows, it's hard to see what's in here. There's actually some little slick mud spots in there. Street canopies are nice, but they also can trick you. Yo, doggo came to see us. I don't know if you can see that. Probably a 100-foot elevation change. It's pretty cool. End up with a little bit of highway time, but it's just a little too late back road highway. It's windy today. You can see that flag. Probably see my helmet getting bucked around a little bit too. We are approaching our first stop, which is in Welcome. It's just like one or two more turns up here. All right, welcome to the fabulous city of Welcome, Texas. Another like population 4. Something like that or another. This is our first stop right here. Welcome General Store. Looks like Route 1 made it. Aha! Here we are. Alright, we're leaving Welcome. That was our first stop. Go immediately right back on the gravel. And damn, I forgot my earplugs. It's gonna be loud. I adjusted my compression and my rebound, and I can feel it immediately. So if you're not playing with suspension, you really should be. I took my compression down, so it got rid of some of the kind of hard jarring feeling when I hit some of this stuff, and then I increased the rebound, and I can definitely feel when I hit these little chunks that the bars aren't jerking left and right as they rebound. So it helps. Tell these roads are drying out already too. Man, that property's in a really nice valley there. It's really cool. Got a pond, got them some cattle. Very nice. Ooh, look at that one over there too. Wow, beautiful place. There's a gorgeous place out here. I don't know what they call that on a house where they build like kind of a round room like that. It's really cool. Like an atrium style, I guess. I don't know. I remember the first time I rode gravel, these chunks really threw me off. Gravel really kind of humbled me, to tell you the truth. I thought I was a pretty decent, I'm a slow rider, but I thought I was a pretty decent rider on dirt, and I'm a pretty cautious rider on the street. But then I got on gravel, and it's like a mix of the two, and these rocks bounce your bike around, your bike squirms. No matter how light your bike is, it's going to squirm all over the place. So even if you're considering, you know, sorry, I had a phone call come in there. What I was trying to say is, I think a lot of people think, they look at an adventure bike and they think, oh my God, 400, 450, 500 pounds. Yes, that's heavy. But on this gravel and stuff, man, it doesn't matter if you're driving a 500 pound or riding a 500 pound bike or a 250 pound dual sport. It's going to move around. And in fact, you get to those really lightweight dual sports and it moves around more than these other bikes would. And then on top of that, you suffer on the road as it becomes much less stable. So weight isn't everything on a motorcycle. It's another nice section. It's nice and shaded. Right now we're somewhere between Welcome, Texas and Round Top, Texas. So we're kind of running gravel roads that are parallel to 290 headed out west. But of course it does a lot of zigzagging, so it's not always parallel. As I said earlier, sometimes when you're group riding, you've got to, especially when you're leading, you've got to kind of adjust your pace as you go through. We started out trying to do 50 miles an hour and then realized we were dropping people, and then backed it down to about 45 and realized it was dropping people and having to wait at turns and stuff. And so I've dropped it back down to around 40 miles an hour on a straight, which is fast enough. It's a little slow for the more experienced guys, but that's okay. We're just cruising today. But we kind of, I think we've locked in on about 30, 35 in a turn and about 40 miles an hour, and maybe 45 on like a really higher speed set of gravel, and that seems to be keeping everybody together. So that means people are riding in their comfort zone, which is good. It's safe. More shady spots, and what I'm finding in these shady spots is there's some hidden mud. Found a really sloshy area just a minute ago. But again, this is after a heavy rain. Normally just a light rain or a normal rain, these roads would just soak it up. You wouldn't see anything. So given how much it rained, they're surprisingly dry. Turtle. This white stuff is so much smoother. It's almost like driving on pavement. Actually, it's like driving on really grippy pavement with some bumps in it, as compared to that red dirt that's got all the chunks and the heavier, what I call like river rock style on it. That stuff moves you around. This is really nice and grippy. You just got to be careful a little bit in the turns, but other than that, really fun. Hey! Get it? Haha, dad joke. It's a really nice paved road here, too. I think they call this like chip seal or something like that. It's a bunch of like chipped up rock and then asphalt underneath, and then a bunch of chip rock on top of it again. It's nice and grippy. It is weird though too, because you can feel the seams and it'll still grip your bike and move your it'll grip your tires and move it around still. Man, it is windy. I don't know if you can hear that, but good lord, it's windy today. Getting close to Round Top now. You can tell. Well, look, Round Top Real Estate. There you go. Yeah, we're getting close to Round Top now. There's a lot of property for sale out here. You can also tell that the roads start to get paved too. So it's a lot of the roads and the scenery is the same as the gravel roads, but you can tell they're starting to pave the roads to try to build out some infrastructure. I can't speak evidently, and sell some property, get some taxes, those sorts of things. But it makes for some really pretty drives, and especially on a day that you're not feeling like doing a bunch of gravel, these are great roads out here. So if you can get yourself out to Round Top and then hit a bunch of these back roads out here, if you don't want to mess with gravel, it's really nice. You do have to watch out for people walking, jogging, riding bicycles, dogs, tractors, trucks, you name it. And I missed my turn. It's right there. I gotta turn around again. Oops, my bad. Did it again. Wasn't paying attention. Oops. Oopsie. Good lord, that's a gorgeous piece of property. Look at that. Nice trees, pond, elevation. You also gotta watch for cars here too. I like to try to wave at cars, tell them to push over to the side. Sometimes I pay attention, sometimes I don't. It's a cool old barn out there. Probably a 100-year-old barn. Nope, World Trade Center. That's funny. This is beautiful here too. Look, good lord. Drop down a couple 100 feet elevation. Like I said, as you get closer to Round Top, man, some of this property is absolutely gorgeous. You can see a lot of it's for sale too, because it's probably worth a lot of money to a lot of people. And there are these metal grates out here. If it's been slick, if the roads are slick, you got to be real careful with these things that we're going over now. They can get really slick. One of the guys on one of our rides laid it down on there, and it's not like falling on dirt. You're falling on metal. It hurts, and it's corrugated metal, so it hurts even worse than falling on a flat surface. Hello, cows. Taking naps. I like that. Midday naps. Sounds good to me. Oh man, that's a sweet old, I guess that's a Scout or something maybe? I don't know. That was a cool old car. It's not one of those metal bridges you gotta be careful on. An old Jeep or Scout or whatever that was, or an International or whatever. I'm sure a car guy will probably laugh at me, but it reminds me of something you see like in a vintage, like African safari or something. We're now entering Round Top. It's a cool little city if you haven't been here. A couple of really good places to eat. A couple of really good places to stay the weekend if you want to. And if you're into antique shopping, this is like the place to be in Texas. Just miles and miles and miles of shops. And here is stop number 2 on your left, the Round Top Mercantile. It's a gas station, but it's got like a hardware store, all kinds of other stuff in it. There's the rest of our group. And sorry, buddy. We'll park over here where it says no parking. That's how David exits parking lots. All right, we are leaving Round Top here, so that was our second stop. We're leaving Round Top and we're headed towards Industry, Texas, another little tiny town. Really all is there is gas station / meat market. A lot more stuff in Round Top though. More pretty roads coming out of Round Top. A lot of nice easy little turns. We all hear sometimes you gotta go fast. Here's a small stretch of highway on this route, but again, it's back 2-lane highways, so very low traffic, but is it need to be able to go 60, 65, 70 sometimes. With a group of bikes. I believe we hadn't seen more already today. It's a beautiful day for riding in Texas. Accidentally let my traction control back there. Could feel the back end stepping out on me. Oh, this is one of my favorite little roads to open it up on. It's just like a valley, just a nice straight road. You just open it up. I like to slow down though when I get back around these houses. I'm sure they don't appreciate it. On the stint coming out of Round Top, you get a nice break from all the gravel. Get some nice back roads. It's a nice kind of feature of the route. After that gravel wears you out a little bit, you get a break. But the roads are still fun. You do get some more gravel. It's not just all pavement between Round Top and Industry. I'm going to slow it back down for these guys here. This is that chunky stuff. Big house. It's a nice little section here too. You're really back kind of on these roads where very few people go. But they're still public roads. Good turns here. Maybe we sling a little dirt. Yeah, buddy. Forget this little like chicane zigzag section here is good for this, and there's hardly ever anybody around in here. Except for there's one of those metal grates. Woo! Traction changes when you go across that thing. Logs. Yeah, that's a good little section there. Turny turn. Always hit the horn on this bike. Ooh, that was a good slide. Yeah, this stint between, sorry, I was paying attention to that truck there. I hope he was paying attention to us. Looks like he was. That stint between Round Top and we're still not to Industry yet, but we're getting there. It really is a lot of paved stuff. So, for better or for worse, right? I enjoy some paved stuff too, as long as it's away from traffic. But if you're looking for like a ton of dirt, this section doesn't have that. Some gravel on this section. I'd say if I add it all up, it's probably 30% gravel, probably 70% back roads. Tiny little stretch of highway in there, but again, some really nice stretches here. All right, just making a quick stop to make sure everybody's there. This looks like a fun stretch of road. I think I'm gonna open it up a little bit here. Have a little fun. It's a lot of switchbacks, so I'm gonna have to be careful here. But sometimes you just go and let the group catch you. Just let the person behind you catch you. There we go. Yep. Woo. Back wheel is just spinning everywhere. And what worries me though is these blind turns like that, just like that. You couldn't see anything. Never know if there's going to be a tractor or animal or something like that, so you do have to kind of approach cautiously. Wrong gear, and there we go. Slid around that whole turn, and that one too, and that one too. Oh, come on, hook up. Another 90-degree turn. And it's blind. So be cautious, but then open it up and go. Chunky turn. Oh, that's loose. And another 90. Not quite as blind, but there we go. When you identify a road like this that's kind of quiet, this is a good low-risk opportunity to open it up, have a little fun. I wouldn't suggest this for everybody, and I wouldn't suggest this for every place on this route either. I better stop and make sure that everybody catches up here, because I think I lost them. Just as a disclaimer, I was not speeding there. I was on a closed course in Mexico, as they say. So yeah, sweet. Couple of classic cars. Is that an old Bronco or a Blazer? That's old Bronco. Look at the old vet too. Damn, that's cool. I take back what I said. This section from Round Top to Industry, while the mileage may be only 30% gravel, you probably spend 40 to 50% of your time on gravel here just because you're going slower. So there's more gravel than I said there was a few minutes ago. Ah, it's so pretty coming out here. This little side road that runs parallel to the highway. You can really see the elevation changing out. We have reached our next destination here at Lindemans, and I'm looking for my group of bikes and I don't see them, which is strange. I'm not sure what's up with that. I wonder if they missed it or just kept going. Alright, well, we're back on the road, headed towards Bellville. A lot of people decided to skip that stop and head straight to lunch because you work up an appetite when you ride. So, and Belleville's only probably another, I don't know, 25, 30 minutes, something like that. So, to Bellville we go. It's probably the longest stretch of highway you have to do on this route is coming out of Belleville, or excuse me, out of Industry and headed to Belleville. 10 minutes on the road, something like that. Really no big deal at all. But let's get windy. On gravel. Coming out of Industry. Like I said, you got about 8 to 10 minute stretch on the highway, and that's the most of it. The rest of it, back to gravel. This is like the New Bremen area, I think is what they call it. A lot of this dirt, and excuse me, a lot of this gravel and this unpaved roads are this white, I guess it's a limestone base? I don't know, but it's different than that brown stuff. Like you see those roads right there have a lot of sand mixed in. You definitely move around more on those. This stuff has more hard pack base, so it feels more stable. You can carry a little bit more speed. And unfortunately you get stuck behind vehicles and stuff sometimes, but that's just part of it. These are their roads too. You just gotta kind of be patient, and sometimes they'll let you by. But if not, just be patient and find a good spot to pass. Make sure you can tell that they're aware. Like right here, see this guy's pulling over. Good job, thank you, sir. Like I said, more of the kind of white, hard base rocks, but you have to still be careful in here because this stuff feels a little marbly underneath you sometimes, and especially because the county will come out here to lay down a fresh layer sometimes, and stuff that you will remember as having decent traction can get really, really loose. So, especially during the summer, they'll come back and lay down an additional layer as all this gravel kind of gets pulverized and turned into sand. It's probably worth mentioning too, like we've almost lost some people. They weren't sure where to go. I almost missed my turn several times too. Some people from some groups have lost and jumped into our group and vice versa. So it's worth mentioning that you really should be running a route out here. You really should have navigation of some sort in front of you on your screen, because you can get kind of turned around and not know where you're going, run out of gas, those sorts of things, run out of daylight, etc. So it's really, honestly, it's a safety issue. You should be prepared with some navigation of some sort. According to the map, we are officially in the New Bremen area, and I'm not sure where the city is, but we're here. Hey, haha. Yeah, that's how easily these roads absorb dust or absorb rain, because it's like we're less than like 6 hours after just heavy rains, and every time a car comes by and the bike's in my rearview mirror, there's already just dry as a bone and dust. It's crazy. You also got to be looking out for stuff here. These cars aren't paying attention a lot of times. They're doing their own thing. There's some good paved stuff out in this section too. Coming out of New Bremen and headed towards the Cat Spring area, or Cat Springs, something like that. I'd say we're about halfway right now between Industry and Bellville on the route. Well, unfortunately the battery died and I missed some of the ride back to Bellville, which is a shame because it had Mill Creek Road in it, which is a nice wide gravel road, and have some nice surprise sand on it too. It's pretty cool, but we'll get it next time. But this is the last stint back to Chappell Hill, back to our starting point. there's a nice wide flat gravel road on it too, so it'll still be fun. This is a cool little stretch back from Bellville to Chappell Hill. I think it's called Granville Road, but it's got some good pavement coming out of town, and then, as I said earlier, a nice flowing wide gravel stretch coming up. You still gotta watch for cars. Some beautiful ranches on this road. Yeah, this is that nice wide stretch I was talking about. It's nice and flat. Well, let's say during the summer you do need to watch out for sand here and there. It'll sneak up on you if you're not prepared. There's some pockets that get really dried out. But other than that, it's a nice place to open it up. Get some gravel cruise speed going. And it's pretty too. See the sand already starting to form quite a bit. It's on the sides of the road right now. I just passed by some that was probably a good 6 inches deep or so. You don't want to hit that stuff and not be prepared. See, it's starting to form right there. Yeah, can feel it moving the front end around quite a bit. It's an awkward feeling when you hit it and you're not prepared for it. This little section is compacted down right now, but man, it can really get thick sand. We've dropped some bikes in here before, just this one little tiny section. Ooh. Sometimes you gotta sling rocks. Sorry, buddies. Probably hit somebody behind me. Yeah, this is a great way to end this ride. This stretch is fantastic. It's pretty, it's fast, it's open, it's easy. Bye, cows. Bye, cows. Noticing also, I think is something this CF Moto bike is famous for. It comes with stiff suspension. A lot of people complain about it because it's not smooth and it's a little bit jarring in some places, but man, when you're going 50 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour and you hit something, that's what it really shows. It's what kind of like a speed and terrain and ride they were targeting with the design of the suspension, because it really soaks it up and honestly becomes a lot smoother of a ride at 40, 50, 60 miles an hour than it is at 25, 30, 40 miles an hour on rough stuff. It's pretty interesting. Oh, and I forgot, there's a really nice road section here you can open it up on. Get a little spicy. It's bumpy though. Kind of like the surprise sand. You get surprise bumps. Your suspension's not working good, or if you're not prepared for it, it can throw you off. It's a great road for a touring bike or a sport bike or something. I don't know, it might be a little rough for a sport bike, but it's good for touring and adventure bikes. Got a little air. And if you look at my screen, you're now back at the spot where the route comes back together at Chappell Hill. So when you're leaving, when you're exiting the route, that's the road you take. When you come back, you gotta make sure you don't take that turn again. There's Cody doing Cody things. Let's see if we can get him to do it again. Oh. I'm betting he'll do it right here. Let's see what we got. Ah, that's boring, Cody. Of course, as soon as I turn off my camera, he starts doing it. And here we are back. Cut through this gas station and back home. Here we are, back to Chappell Hill, to the famous Chappell Hill Bakery, Deli, Barbecue, Smokehouse, all in one. Fun ride.